and welcome to this week's episode of the How to Film Weddings podcast. My name is Nick Miller. Today I am flying solo in the interview. John is not here, he has the day off, but I am joined by Logan and Davidson of the Crakes. They are based in the Austin area, but kind of traveling all over Texas, doing more higher end luxury style weddings. Their work is incredible. You definitely need to go check them out. Today on the podcast, we talked a lot about their story and just the power of working hard and taking one step at a time. And you never know what amazing things can happen if you just put one foot in front of the other and get out there and get other people to know you and the things that can happen to your business. It's not necessarily one huge break that happens. Sometimes it's lots of little steps that get you exactly where you want to go. And then years down the line, you can reap the benefits of all the hard work that you have put in. So I really enjoyed the conversation that we had with Logan and Davidson. Before we jump into today's podcast, I wanted to mention our sponsor, one of our sponsors of the How to Film Weddings podcast, and that is MusicBed. MusicBed is incredible. It is the exclusive source of music licensing that John and I use in our films. We absolutely love them. We do not think that there is any better music licensing site out there. So if you would like to check out MusicBed, head over to howtofilmweddings.com/musicbed, and we can get you 1 month free off of an annual subscription by using promo code HTFW23. So MusicBed, love them. If you're new to the wedding filmmaking world, we highly recommend them. If you're old to the wedding filmmaking world, we still highly recommend MusicBed. Anyway, I'm excited for you all to listen to today's podcast. Let's go ahead and jump into the conversation that I just had with the Crakes. Well, Logan and Davidson of the Crakes, thank you guys so much for hopping on the podcast and chatting with me today. For people that, might not know who you are, why don't you introduce yourselves?
Okay, I'm Logan. This is Davidson. You're welcome. We are wedding photographers and videographer, husband and wife team, and we have been doing this for about 5 or 6 years now. We are based in Austin, but we like to say we're in Dallas too. We're kind of all over Texas, starting to throw in a little bit of travel here and there, but that's our main base.
Okay, so you do both photo and video. How is that breakup? Is it Logan, you do photo, Davidson, you do video? Do you shoot with each other? How does that work?
That's exactly how it is.
Sorry.
We can go back to the whole journey, but right now she's photo, I'm video for most weddings, and she does the bulk of the work. And then when we come to video together on like larger video projects, we kind of do it together. It's definitely a team effort. Everything we do is a team effort. So it's super fun.
Yeah. I kind of made it to where just since we had kids, I wanted Davidson to stay home a little bit more. That's what you do.
That's my duty. Yeah, dad duties.
He's good at a lot of things, but that's one thing he's great at. Anyway, so I kind of made it to where my clients can book me for photo and have him as an add-on option. That being said, it is still like a very important aspect to our business is the video, although I don't like promote it as I do my photos.
Yeah. So people love it. People love it on video. Yeah.
So I'm not putting you in a box or anything, but it kind of sounds like you are a photo first company that does offer high quality video with it, but you're not pushing yourself as a video team. It's like if you get us for photo, then you can add on video.
Correct. That being said, I still yes, we're not putting ourselves in a box. And I do think that our videos are very worthy of being outside in the video world. But that is my passion is photo. I don't know. I like the story of video. I love video. It's just hard.
That's what we love. We can't say no to not doing video. We have done it. When we started out, we started doing both. And so it's something we can't move away from. But Logan is so talented with photo and video, but she definitely has a passion for photo. Yeah. And then she loves the creative side of video as well. So when we get together as a team, it's super fun so that we enjoy getting to do both for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what's kind of the breakup for you guys? Is it like I mean, Davidson, it says, she wants you home to, be at home and that kind of stuff. And most of the work, it falls on her. But I mean, when it comes to the video stuff, are you guys outsourcing that? Are you guys doing that? Logan, are you just taking care of absolutely everything and you have no time and you want to pull your hair out?
Yeah, actually, you just hit the nail on the head right there. Yeah. So Davidson will join us on a wedding day. And he is the one who is filming the content, the videos.
Yeah.
And I am the one putting it all together and talking to clients and whatnot.
Yeah. So she's the front end, the back end, and then I come in on the day of, and maybe the day before with prep work a little bit, kind of setting up our gear. I'm kind of the pack mule as well, of course.
Davison, you're the eye candy.
Yeah.
Just bring them along for looks.
And then so as traveling with all the gear and everything else, then I'm shooting day of and leading that for video. So when we have assistants or second shooters for video, if we do, I'm helping lead that as well. But then when we're hired both as video, I feel like we do a good balance of just us two shooting together, pretty much like sharing roles there for video.
We kind of switch off lead.
But then we're booked for photo and video. She's photo, I'm video, and it's like pretty seamless, right? Husband and wife duo. We've seen it before. It works so well.
That's I wonder if you guys get that question, but my wife and I are a husband and wife team, doing video, and she gets comments all the time like, okay, like who's in charge? Like who is
tell them who's in charge real quick.
And you can tell just from our personalities, that's how it is. I love to just sit back, watch,
and I love to just tell them what to do.
Yeah, tell them what to do.
Especially as husband and wife, it's kind of like we know our roles and we can work with each other. I think our clients often think that I'm the one that's in charge because I'm the one that handles a lot of the meetings and the FaceTime beforehand, but she does so much behind the scenes back end work, and it's like I don't know, if we're shooting bride prep, they'd be like, Jen's in charge. If we're shooting groom prep, then I'm in, it's kind of, going, doing our own thing. So, man, it sounds like you guys have a good thing working and your roles and you're kind of living it and doing it. So you've been in business, you said, what, 5 years, 6 years or so?
I would say like definitely professionally.
5 years professionally.
5 years.
Yeah.
Once we got married, we kind of really took it to the next level. Before that, whenever we started, Davidson was working at a CrossFit gym and he was doing promo videos and photos for social media there. We kind of it was more him at this time. For me, at this time, it was a hobby. You got asked to do senior photos.
And she was kind of pushing me.
And I'm like, yeah, do it.
Yeah,
like,
she kept pushing me like, you can make some good money off of this. And I was like, okay, all right, I guess so.
And I think at the time I was almost like jealous because I knew it was a hobby. And I kept pushing him to do it because I was like scared or something. I don't know. And then Davidson got asked to do a wedding video. They said, some people at the gym, and they were just like, hey, we have $500 left of our budget. Will you do video?
Yeah. And they were trusting enough. They knew what I had done and they were friends too. So it was like, hey, we trust y'all. We know you're talented. We know you haven't done any videos, but we want to see what y'all can do. And so Logan went out to Best Buy and bought a camera. She's like, it was like pretty short notice anyways too. So we're like, okay,
you get to the wedding and you're pulling it out of the box and like,
like, do you know where the battery goes?
But yeah, so it was definitely a learning experience for both of us. And I taught her a thing or two, and then her evolution has just kind of just propelled. Her education has just been crazy.
And it was really that first wedding. And again, I really had nothing to do with it. It was definitely more Davidson's thing. And I kind of wanted to follow along. But it was that first wedding that just like opened my eyes to the wedding industry, the wedding world that I never knew anything about. And I immediately just became obsessed. Like weddings, I knew were my thing. Like my heart just like felt 20 times bigger already.
And I think for me, it was still, I love the video aspect of creating a video. And then when she was like, hey, weddings are the thing, this is what we can do, eventually make it a career for both of us. I was like, okay, I'll get behind it. And then I've definitely fell more in love with like the story behind each day, and then just falling in love with the couples too. But so that small little wedding for that couple was what kind of trajected us. And it was cool that it was video first. And then kind of now we kind of just do it all.
So So Davidson, you started with the video. Logan, did you help out with that, or were you just kind of there as like an assist? Like you didn't shoot anything that day. You were just there kind of?
I had a camera.
Okay.
Like we mentioned, and I was just more like I was a human tripod.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't do much. I don't think we had any audio sources. Like, I mean, again, like we didn't know that, whatever. But for what it was, they loved it.
Sure.
Anyway,
sure.
so yeah, I was kind of just like watching, happy to be there, following him around. It was just for fun, more or less.
Yeah, and we definitely learned a lot from that photographer that was there, just because that was we didn't even know the flow of a wedding and everything.
Yeah,
but yeah, so
learned a lot. But it was like mind blowing to watch them because they were already in the industry and just like the wedding day flow, and we were just following everybody around, like having no idea what to do.
Sure. So what did it look like? You shoot that first one that's video only. Like what was the process then from going from there to creating your business and adding photo and like moving forward that way? What was that space like?
Yeah, honestly, it was crazy, and it was just like a whirlwind. After that, it was just a couple more people at the gym that asked, at that point, both of us, because I started like hopping in on senior photos and stuff, but asked both of us to shoot their wedding. I don't know. And this sounds so crazy, but it was, like I said, it was just like a bowling. I don't know. Like it just kept happening.
It just kept snowballing from there. It was
word of mouth, it was little weddings, maybe not little in people amount, but like no budget weddings, stuff like that.
Very small. And it was people that like directly knew us, of course. Like it's always like people that knew us and knew exactly what we were doing. And I think the first year we had maybe 4 to 7, maybe 4 weddings.
But and then the next year, we had 40, 50.
Yeah, something where we said yes. We just said yes, started saying yes to everything. So we were both newly engaged, moving to Austin, and that kind of just launched us. We're like, that's where we want to be. We want to be central. We want to be a spot where we can go to San Antonio. We can go to Dallas. We can stay in Austin, surrounding areas, go to Houston, stay in College Station. So we were all over the map that year, and we said yes to everything. Which is awesome.
Yeah. Looking back now, I don't think I would tell somebody to do exactly what we did, because I don't know. I don't feel like, as much experience as it was, I don't feel like that was as beneficial as it could have been. I don't know, but it was fun. I mean, it was probably a year to a year and a half into it is whenever I was like, okay, let's take this serious. I'm kind of just doing it. I mean, of course I was making some sort of income, but it was more just for fun. But I'm like, okay, I want to make more money. I want this to be what I want to do. I was passionate about it. Both of us became school teachers. You're a PE coach. But so it was still something we were doing on the side. As much time as it took out of my life, it was like not a hobby, but it was like definitely.
No, it was just our second job.
Yeah,
we had a full-time, we both had a full-time job with the school district, and then on the weekends and then in the evenings for her, she was editing nonstop. And every weekend we had probably 1 or 2 weddings, sometimes a couple, 3 weekends. It was
shooting 45, 50 in, like your second.
Crazy.
Yeah. Though I will say, I mean, that's a major growing pain that you guys went through and figuring out not only, hey, we're, newly engaged, about to get married, we are running a business together, we have full-time jobs, we have all this editing, but so it was a lot that you guys, I'm sure, had to deal with and, figuring that. But I will say that I think it takes most people, I have that like 50 weddings under your belt before you kind of really get a good idea of kind of the direction that you would like to go. Right.
I would agree.
And so you, I mean, you probably wouldn't want to go back and do another year like that, but where it takes most people, 2, 3, maybe even 4 years to get that many weddings under their belt. You guys were like, okay, we're just going to rip the Band-Aid off and it's going to be awful. And now you're able to, really learn who it is that you want to work with, the type of stuff that you want. Like you learned what you want to do by doing what you didn't want to do. Right.
Yeah, you actually, everything you just said kind of just like resonated with me very well. You're right. We learned everything we wanted to learn, and not everything we wanted to learn, but we did go through that point in time. And then right away after that, let's just say year, I knew what I wanted and I went for it. And that's whenever we started seeing our business just like take off in financial and like ways that were more beneficial for our lives.
Yes. And that's exactly kind of the exact same time where she quit teaching and was like, I'm going to do this full time. And I trusted her and was like, okay. Then that too is where we kind of, I would say we take roles where she took on everything too as well. Like everything on the back end, everything with consulting to all the clients and everything like that. And then even like the editing process too. Every once in a while we would trade off weddings just because our vision is so different. But at the beginning it was definitely still that balancing act. And then when she went full time, she was like, I got it.
This is mine.
And I was like, let's go. So then at that point it was like, okay, what can I do to make her better? How can I free up her time? And then so that's kind of too where I was like, okay, my lane is video, I'll stay here. And then she just took it to the moon. And since then we've kind of just been snowballing and just growing.
Yeah.
So okay, man, that's awesome. That's an inspiring story for people. So Logan, you quit your teaching job after your first year in doing this. Davidson, how long did you stay working full time? Like, did you continue to do that for a little while before you left that job?
Yes. So the next almost 2 years I stayed, and I think even like starting out, we were just like, down the road, I hope that both of us can do this full time. Definitely. And in my head, I was like, okay, yeah, 10 years from now,
exactly.
10 years would be so awesome.
It was a goal, but I was like, I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Yeah. So Logan had quit and was just crushing it. And then about 2 years in, after we had our first child, our daughter, she was about 1 year old. I was still teaching. I was still doing it, trying to balance it all. And then Logan's like, I think we can make it work.
Yeah.
I think if you quit your teaching job, you can stay home, help me out with Charlie, help her free up my time at home. And then I can keep going and just keep growing this business. And I was like, all right, I'm trusting you again. Yeah. Let's see what happens. And so that was about 2.5 years. No,
3 years ago now.
Maybe 2.5.
Oh, Charlie was
was 1. Yeah, sorry. Our daughter was about 1. Right when she was 1, and Charlie, our daughter, became more I would say when Charlie became a little more involved and someone needed to handle her at home, I took that duty, come home, hang out with the girls, and then let's grow our business. So it kind of just, even from there, and then again, snowball effect.
That's definitely once Davidson came home is whenever I was able to grow. I keep saying grow our business, but that's whenever I got to spend more time on social media, connecting with others. I got to spend more time doing styled shoots, getting a more evolved look, doing a lot more education online, things like that. So that's where I keep saying like our business grew. That's what I was doing during that time.
Yeah. That's really good. And it's the fine balancing. Yeah. I mean, I know that you have, your business, with you guys, but you're not a solo entrepreneur in the sense that it's not just one person, there's two people doing it. And it's like, whenever Davidson, in a sense, I mean, I know you guys were doing together and I'm not saying that, but like you were kind of the first hire for your business in the sense that you're going to quit working. So now you're home, so you can help out, do things so that we can do that. And whenever you are able to take stuff off your plate, because children are a big thing on the plate that someone needs to take care of them. Yeah. And if they're not there, and just the older they get, it's like, when we had our daughter and it was like, oh man, we're so tired and all this kind of, which you are exhausted and stuff. But when you set them down, they stay there. Up at it's like they're not going to move. Or right. You like when they're 2, 3, 4 months. I mean, you gotta all that stuff. But it's whenever they get mobile.
Easy, but it was easy.
Right, it wasn't easy comparatively. When they get older, like, oh, now I cannot take my eyes off you. That stuff. So anyway, so Logan, you said during that time, that's whenever you really started investing more into education, doing styled shoots. Looking at your work on your website and stuff, you have this very, high-end, filmy vibe and feel for you guys. Very elevated aesthetic, that kind of stuff. When I think of more of the higher-end luxury stuff, like your work is my idea of what that would look like, right? And so, what would you What would you say were some of the steps? I know you're talking about styled shoots and that kind of thing. What were some of the steps that you look back from 3 years ago that you were doing then, that you were hustling to get you to where you are now?
Now, honestly, it was kind of just like believing in myself, knowing that is where I wanted to go. And it was those styled shoots that was probably like the biggest step. Now saying that, I don't want to go and tell everybody just do styled shoots.
Sure.
Because that's definitely not something that I want on my Instagram to feel like it is that curated. But it was like, you just have to do something and get yourself into that luxury, maybe not quite luxury yet, but to that point, whether that was also connecting with people on Instagram, connecting with different planners. The first like 3 years of our business, I did not have a planner email come through to me. It was all just brides. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I need these planners to reach out to me. So I started reaching out to them, and whether it wasn't really like, can I do something? I don't know. They always like tell you what to do to like get planners on your side. It was more just like commenting on their stuff, making myself seen. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then really, I know I said I'm not curating it from styled shoots, but curating my Instagram to only show what I want to be, what I want shown. I took away anything that was like very budgety. At the same time, I still wanted people to know like where we came from, like the growth of our business. So I didn't take it all away, but sure. I definitely like just refined what people are seeing whenever they search our name.
And luckily on some of those styled shoots that she went on for photo, I was like, I'm coming along too for video. And I think that helped us with that as well. Just me growing with that. And then you kind of see everything just is very parallel. So when Logan edits and does everything, it all looks super similar and super elegant. Just like her photo work, the video work, she matches it perfectly. Yeah.
That's one thing that I really try, both photo and video. I know timeless is just such a almost overused word, but I'm going to use it. Mm-hmm. I do want that timeless feel. I want people to be able to watch these videos and look at these photos in 20 years and still be happy with them. And that's my biggest goal. And I think that is what has gotten our audience what it is, or, like who I want our audience to be, because I'm hoping that these brides are looking at my stuff and they're like, I do want the timeless look or some, whatnot. So.
Yeah, for sure. I think that was so smart that you said, and we've shared it before on the podcast about, curating your feed, showing the kind of stuff that you want to shoot. If you were, think back, to whenever you shot 50 weddings all over the state of Texas, and I'm sure that they kind of, and you're like, we want to go this direction. We want to go more ballroom, elegant, that kind of thing. But you're still showing off all of this barn wedding or small barn budget or, like all the stuff that you don't want to do. And you keep posting and keep showing. It's like, why am I not getting inquiries for this? Why are people not reaching? Well, it's because even though they can see that you can do the work, obviously, they don't see it in the right context. And so that's why people aren't reaching out to you. We're an example. We have this video on YouTube where the couple got super, super emotional, like really crying. It's got 1 million+ views on YouTube and stuff. And so we get so many people that reach out to us because that's how they see themselves, even though that's not how they are. Yeah. It's like people, like they're putting themselves in that, this is the context that I want to be in. And when when you don't have that out there, it's hard for them to do it. So that's really, really good advice, and having that direction and knowing where you want to go. You mentioned reaching out to planners and, kind of going that. Do you have any, maybe inspirational stories or something like, I say inspirational, whatever. But I guess what I'm saying is like you're working hard, doing all the right things that you need to do, but there's also some sort of right place, right time kind of stuff that goes along with that. It's not a lucky break. Like you weren't lucky in the sense that it just fell onto your lap. Like you were working hard and an opportunity presented itself. So is there anything like that really, you were going one way and this one, like, it like really lifted you guys off?
Oh no, what?
Well, I would say for this, I think the relationships that she built, one was a duo of planners came to you, and I think you've built an awesome relationship here in Austin with them, and they kind of collaborated with her to do a styled shoot, and that was kind of one of her first ones. And then from there, that was when she's like, okay, their help and I have a taste for this. This is what I want to do. And that's when she started doing even more styled shoots and knowing what she even wanted at a styled shoot or which styled shoots to go to. So I think building that relationship with those planners, and now those people are her friends too, which is, I think, super cool. So I mean, you might be able to expand on like how that even started, but that relationship, I think, was one that kind of helped snowball the,
I don't know. I was really just trying to make myself seen. And I know I said that, but not only on Instagram, I was trying to go to a few things here in Austin. Again, we had just had a newborn whenever all this was going on. So I don't think I did the best job at it, but I was trying to be seen out and about. I feel like a socialite or something, but no, just like in the wedding industry. And yeah, I met these girls, we became friends, we started doing all this. And then I feel like, honestly, once one planner sees you working with another planner and they know that they had a good experience, I mean, why wouldn't you want to work with me at that point? Something like that. I think it's just...
Yeah, why wouldn't anyone want to work with you?
I know. I mean, no, I'm just kidding. But it comes to just like putting your best foot forward, trying your hardest on a wedding day at a styled shoot, whatever you need to get started at, right? Having that great personality, having an amazing person. I did not think that like that. Like just being a good person on a wedding day, right? Like and making those connections, having those relationships. I think that's honestly just what took us off, and showing my face on social media, stuff like that. I'm sorry if I keep repeating myself, but just making myself seen, letting people know who I am. That's what really took us off. It, as much as I say I wanted a curated feed, and as much as people look at that and want that, they're also getting this relationship with me and having this fun person along on their wedding day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate that because it sounds like you worked hard and did the stuff that needed to be done to get to where you were. It wasn't, it sounds like you had little connections here and there, like steps, rather than, that one person that said, somehow I landed this big gig that it was out of my depth, whatever. And that just, took me out from there. But it was like, no, you're slowly building this thing. And then, before your legs get stronger. So it's much easier to climb the steps as they get further and further apart, and you just keep going higher and higher, something like that. So, yeah. As
much as it was really like, as fast as we grew, it was all just because I was working my ass off. Like, I wish I could say that something amazing happened,
Yeah,
we have great opportunities, but I'm not kidding. There's nothing that comes to my mind that was like, that was a turning point. It was more just like me really trying, I had to. And again, this is like, I wanted this so bad, and there's still so many things that I want so bad, but like, I'm working for it. I'm not just like letting it come to me, even though we just had like we just did like a high profile wedding. I don't know who did this. It was a high profile. And I'm not letting that just like take control of my business. Like, I'm still working at it, and I'm still going after what I want, and not just like waiting for something to come to me.
Yeah. That's definitely not her. She will.
Yeah.
She does not stop. So yeah, it's all those little steps that you don't see it. And like even going back to the style shoot, she was planning with them. It wasn't like, hey,
like, this is what I wanted.
I want y'all to plan this for me. She was like, she's particular in a good way that she knows what she wants, and she's going to let everybody know. So if that means working together with whoever it might be, working together with the planners, working together with the venue, the bride, I think her communication skills really help her take those little steps to get what she wants. And what she wants is what a great product for everybody, right? So a great product for the bride, a great day for the bride, a great day for the couple, great video, great photos, whatever it might be.
Yeah. Davidson, back to your CrossFit days, it's like, you're in shape, you're looking good. And he was like, okay, which pull-up was it? which deadlift was it that got you to look like, which specific thing was it that got you to be there? And you're like, well, it wasn't.
No, I had to work. Yeah.
Right. It wasn't one specific thing. It was that I did it day in and day out, and I was consistent, and that's what it is with business. We want to pinpoint what was the one thing that you did. And you're like, well, I can't answer that because it wasn't just one thing that I did. It was a lot of little steps that I took to get me there. And now I'm reaping the benefits of all of the hard work that I did. Our society, we want, our fast food, instant gratification, fast food, Amazon Prime, whatever. We want it right now. But the things that last and the stuff that we can be proud of, it doesn't happen like that. I mean, there is going to be a random person that is going to be the exception to that rule. We get that. But for most people, it's oftentimes lots of hard work over an extended period of time that's going to get you where you want to go. So that's a great story. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. I wish I keep saying I wish I had something cooler to say, but it was just.
We've definitely had cool last minute weddings and other random reach outs, but
there has been cool things that have happened.
But that's not where the growth comes from. That growth comes from that grind. And that just putting your nose to the dirt for a little bit. And that's where it's been coming from.
And one thing I'm going to say, and if you guys out there listening, we'll put their website, the Crakes, is it thecrakes.com, in the show notes and stuff, so people can check that out. But if you go look at their work, it is definitely stuff, especially if you want to go into more of the higher end lecture, it's going to be your vibe. You're going to love it, and you're going to say, wow, this is incredible, if that's the direction that you want to go. But one thing that I like about your story is that I think it's very relatable to most people. It's nothing, I don't mean this bad, there's nothing extraordinary
we're not
happening.
Special. Awesome. Thanks, Nick. Oh, okay. Gotta go. Just kidding.
No, but there's no, obviously I didn't mean it that way.
Sorry.
But there's nothing that's oh, that'll never happen to me. Okay.
Oh yeah.
You met famous celebrities, agent at the bar randomly. So now you have this, most people that don't relate to that, but they can relate to, I worked hard and I did this, and the right people got to know me. One time we had, I think it was in our mastermind, Caleb and Elaine from KEJ were on, and Elaine really pushed, we hear in the world, it's not what you know, it's who you know. But she said, I think what's even more important than who you know is who knows you.
Yeah.
Because it's the people that know you that are going to get you the jobs, and people that know you are going to get you the connections. And that definitely seems to be the route that you guys took with some of these planners and stuff. Get your face out there, get people to know you so that other people would know you. And when they think, oh, here's this, high profile client, whatever.
Sorry.
when the high profile client comes along, they're like, okay, Logan and Davidson, that's who we need to reach out to because I've worked with them and I know them. So anyway, I think that while, your story is yours and it's important, it's one that's very relatable, and it should inspire people that hey, if you just put your nose to the ground and get the stuff done and you do it, it can, and you're sitting here and you're 5, year 6, and you sound like you're pretty far along where, someone like me, I didn't really feel like I was, getting to where I wanted until year 8, so it's definitely, you guys are doing it. So,
yeah, we definitely, I guess, evolved pretty quickly within the wedding industry, and we had to not overcome, but I don't know the word, but we have 2 kids now, we have all this that we are taking care of and still growing our business. And just going back to the relatability, you can have 2 kids and you can grow your business to be able to quit your job and if follow your dreams. That's my biggest thing is
no, it's so true.
I'm so passionate about it. I'm just if you want something, you gotta go for it. And that's, I just love it.
Yeah. Logan now, says no to more weddings, but she says yes to a lot more opportunities that are super fun to her, and then she says yes to doing it as a family and doing it together. So we're still a team. We're bringing the kids along to a lot of our styled shoots. We took our youngest Clay at 6 months to Paris with us to a styled shoot. We took our kids to Italy to one. we do everything together, and we're saying yes to those opportunities because those are the dreams that we have been trying to do, and it's all part of the journey. That's all still work too,
and at
but
the
we're
end of
all
the day,
doing it
it's all
together.
my family. Like, I'm not here just doing, I mean, it is fun and I do love it, but like, it is to provide for my family and to have them be able to be a part of the journey. I mean, I'm like gonna cry, but seriously, like, that's what it's all for. So
Yeah, that's really inspirational and really powerful. And it seems to be, your attitude is just one that's like, we're gonna do it. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like you're like super willy nilly about it, but at the same time, it's like, like, I think this is let's try it, let's do it. And I think you would rather have the regret of failing rather than the regret of not trying,
not doing it, not going, not trying. Yeah,
and we're not afraid of it being hard. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, and that's what we've learned is like Logan's like nothing's difficult because she's gonna work through it, or we're gonna work together and get through it too. That's the big thing. So
nothing good in life really comes from a place of contentment or a place of easiness. Like, it's all the stuff that we find most rewarding, and the stuff that we enjoy, and the stuff that we look back on and have fond memories of is the stuff that was hard, and
I would agree.
Yeah.
I might not be thinking that right now whenever I'm in the midst of
in the cave, in the editing cave.
Oh, sure.
But overall.
Yeah. So, well, what else? What else do you guys want to talk about? You got anything that you really, really wanted to share?
No, I think people probably do want to know about the more recent wedding that we've done. And I don't want to go into too much detail just because I didn't sign an NDA or anything, but it was a super cool opportunity. And I keep saying that this didn't come, we didn't get anything easy, and this wasn't easy. I mean, again, it's kind of going out there to like letting myself known, because this influencer, her name is Maddie Pruitt. She was on The Bachelorette. No, she was on The Bachelor. And she was getting married, and she put on her Instagram story. I didn't follow her at the time, but she put on her Instagram story, hey, anybody know videographers in Texas, or something like that. And apparently so many people had said our names that's what got us that job. And of course, like, I get a DM from her, started crying immediately, because I was just like, what if this could happen? Yeah, I was just like, what if? Like, how amazing. Anyways, but that goes back to just like, it wasn't the planner. And as much as I want planners to know me, it wasn't the planner. It was just people on Instagram telling her the Crakes, stuff like that. How crazy is that? And so now we can say, like, we've done a bachelor wedding, something like it's like, how crazy.
So that was a random opportunity, but that was still hard work. It was still, and it definitely was a challenge. So
definitely.
It was cool.
Definitely. And again, in something, again, it's the who knows you thing, because it wasn't someone like that. If just like a couple people say your name, they're probably gonna be like, okay, like, I'm not going to look into it if only like one or two, but there was a sizable enough amount of people that mentioned your name that she noticed it. And so that is a testament to not only your work, but also the relations that you've built, how you handle your business, and just how you guys are as people. Like, it's so much more. One thing that we've been hitting a lot in our mastermind the last couple of weeks has been how your films and your work is an important part, but it's not as big of a part as we like to think that it is. Right. It's the relationships and the communication and how we present ourselves. Like, it's so much more than that. And so that's a big, you should take that almost more than anything else, that all these people mentioned you as a big badge of honor. Like, wow, that's so cool that these people thought of us. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is really cool. And going back to what you were just saying, it's not, whenever I get testimonies from clients, it's not often that I hear our photos were so good. I mean, they, don't get me wrong.
They're awesome. But, don't get me wrong. They're incredible.
But it's more the husband and wife team was so awesome to work with. Like, Logan helped me so much throughout the process. Logan was there for me. Like, they were so much fun, stuff like that. So it's more, it is not your personality, but how you, the
relationship side,
and going into a wedding day and your attitude, more or less, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. That's awesome. You guys, this has been really, really cool. It's nice to get to know you and hear your story and just all that kind of stuff. Before we're about ready to, wrap stuff up here and finish up. But where can people, follow you guys along on Instagram or website, or where can people check you out?
Yeah, so our Instagram is at the Crakes. Crakes.
Crake like a rake. That's what I say.
Okay. And our website is, I do love him. Our website is.
How many times have you told him not to tell that joke? Like I'm just sitting here thinking, because that's the same kind of stuff that I do with my wife. I say the same thing and she's like, stop it. I've told you to stop,
I'm like, they know. But our website's thecrakes.com, the same as our Instagram. And then newly, you can find us on TikTok at the Crakes as well. It has nothing to do with wedding anything, but Davidson is a star over there.
Oh,
no, we just do lifestyle stuff. But if you want to follow along, it's pretty fun. Just saying.
Live salsa?
Lifestyle.
I thought you said live salsa, and I was like, okay, is this are you making salsa or are you dancing salsa?
What's the
maybe next time?
Maybe next time. Oh,
no, guys, just lifestyle content.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's why you can find it.
Okay. Well, Logan, Davidson, it's been so good to chat with you, and thanks for sharing your story, and just encouraging people to keep doing what they're doing and keep, working hard and grinding and doing your thing and enjoying it along the way. That was another thing that I heard too. I think in our culture, it's the work, grind, hustle so much. But I love the point that you brought up. Was like, we're able to do this as a family. We bring them along. We, one of the reasons I wanted Davidson to quit his job, one, to help me, but also so we can be together and enjoy life while our kids are young together too. So
as hard as I work and as much as I work, there's nothing else I'd rather be doing. I truly enjoy what I do. So, and
we're blessed that we get to do it together. Right. And so we've done it kind of bit since day one together. So it's been amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We really appreciate the time.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
See you guys.
See y'all.
Logan, Davidson, thank you so much for being on the podcast with me today. I really, really appreciate you taking the time. Listeners, thank you for joining and hanging out with me in today's podcast. I wanted to remind you of our website. If you go to howtofilmweddings.com/store, there you can find a lot of our digital templates. And one of the things that we have is our email template pack. We have about 65 emails in this that will help you from inquiry all the way through 1 year anniversary with just sending clients messages and letting them know where you are along the way so that you don't have to think about anything. You copy and paste, you put them in your CRM, you send out auto emails. It's all in there for you, all ready to go. And that is our email template pack. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate you taking a little time out of your day and hanging out with me. And until next time, we will see ya.